Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing K-1 fiancé visas. We're also discussing marriage registration in Thailand as opposed to a wedding ceremony. So a couple of things to keep in mind here. Marriage changes whether or not you can apply for a K-1 fiancé visa. So if you get married, you're no longer eligible to apply for a fiancé visa. It negates that eligibility. So it's probably a good idea for those who are looking at all of their immigration options with respect to a foreign fiancé, in this case in Thailand, to go ahead and ascertain whether or not they really want to register that marriage. That's the first major question to ask. Now, another thing to bear in mind, we're dealing with this in the fourth quarter of 2021. We're seeing a lot of delays. We're seeing a lot of consternation and problems associated with getting a marriage registered because different offices are taking different positions with respect to public health and safety protocols, and in certain circumstances we're finding it very difficult to even get a marriage registered between a foreign national and a Thai national. Now, this may abate as time moves on, and things reopen. This may not be a problem in the reasonably foreseeable future, but for now, we've seen some issues associated with it, which kind of begs the question as to whether or not you actually want to legally register a marriage, as it may be beneficial and it may be faster in certain circumstances to use a K-1 visa to get that foreign fiancé into the United States. Which brings us to the final point of this video, which is with respect to wedding ceremonies. There are oftentimes folk ask, well, if we have a ceremony, aren't we married? Well, no, perhaps not legally in Thailand. As discussed in other videos, Thailand has a civil registration system for marriage. So those who are in Thailand and get married have to register at a civil registrar. The ceremony is largely legally irrelevant. Now, before everybody just goes out and makes any moves, it might not be a bad idea to contact a legal professional on that because there's different circumstances associated with marriage in Thailand. And on top of that, I have seen in the past folks inadvertently get married, especially foreign nationals. They'll be at a government office and they'll go ahead and sign something and they end up married. Now, that's been a while since I've seen that happen, but long story short, be careful, because if you're not wanting to be legally married for purposes of getting a K-1 visa, you need to be kind of circumspect in how you proceed. That stated, it is possible to have ceremonies that, for example, we would call a wedding ceremony in the U.S., but that is not legally binding under the laws of the Kingdom of Thailand.